So most of the people would consider, in most of the cases, 11 months contract. My name is Arpit Arora. I'm India's leading personal finance expert and passive income coach, and I'm on that quest to change the middle class of India and transform their financial life in such a way that they are able to have the potential to follow their passion. They have the focus to follow their passion. They are not distracted by money because they're creating enough passive income, and most importantly, they're able to live with inner peace and joy. And that, my friends, happens by winning the game of money. That happens when you upgrade your financial IQ, and that most importantly happens when you are committed to achieve financial freedom in your life. Because it cannot happen without a commitment, and it is my commitment to make sure you get all the support that you need to walk and achieve that destination. If you have a property and you want to put it on rent, what should be the right tenure of the agreement that you're going to make for rentals? Now, this might not sound a very big topic, but it really is. It could be a very big pain for you later on if you don't decide this one properly and correctly. So the first thing that is considered by most people is this, that they go for 11 months contracts. But why would you want to go for 11 months? Why not 12? Because the first benefit you get is that there is no need to register the agreement if the tenancy is less than a year, which is why 11 months. And because there is no need to register, then it saves you the cost of registration and the hassle of getting it done. So most of the people would consider, in most of the cases, 11 months contract. Who are these people typically? If you go for an office, small office, they will go for 11 months contract. If you go for typically, you can say a small house, a flat, people would again go for 11 months worth of contracts only. Because of a few reasons, I'll tell you what they are. So the first thing is, if you go for the 11-month contract, it's good for the landlord because they're able to increase the charges every year, and they can even rotate the bad tenants. And obviously, they can notarize the rent agreement and use it as an alternative. So the agreement that you have, rather than having it registered, you can just simply have it notarized. But there are some cons of this as well. What are the cons? The first thing is, if in case you want to let's say there are damages on the property. So you cannot legally claim the damages because it's not a registered agreement. It's just notarized. So it's, you can say, semi-formal. Another aspect of this is that if you have a big property, you have or you're letting it to a bigger corporation, they don't want to go for 11 months lease. So either the accepting party, the tenant, will not go for 11 months because they're looking at certainty, or they're looking at to stay in a property for a certain amount of time. Or you yourself don't want to rotate tenants every year. So in a scenario like this, people, like especially warehouse, do you know how the contracts of warehouses are like? 8 years agreement, registered agreement, 5 years lock-in, and the next 3 years, any of the party can give a 3 months notice and ask the other to terminate the agreement. So when the size of the real estate is bigger, when there is going to be a capital or a very big commitment required from the tenant to move in, or the same thing from the side of the tenant to build the property, let's say, if that is a thing that they have to do, if they have to furnish it, if they have to provide for other requests and securities or certain things that the tenant want before they move in. In all of those cases, it is better to go for longer term contracts. Ideally, people go for 3 years. And if it's a massive property like a warehouse, then people go for 5 to 10 years ki range mein. Like if a bank comes to your, let's say, office and use it and they are the tenant, they'll go for 5 years lease. उससे नीचे वो आएंगे ही नहीं. And they'll also pay you less for that too. So that there are pros and cons of both. If it's a small property, most likely you should go for, because the rotation is also going to be high, you should go for 11-month contract. If it's a bigger property, requires much more intervention, one should go for a minimum 3-year contract and have it registered as well. Because if you don't have it registered, you will not be able to claim a lot of things, which is what makes the whole process very, very tedious in case any legality comes in the picture later on.